In this video, we will rank all of the 23 arms in the Robotic Frenzy. I will show you their max potential at their max level, which is level 8. Then we will make a tier list out of it. First, let's start with the don't pick up category. This is an example of a bad mix. It's a mix of bad single target damage and a bad area of effect damage per second. This weapon is one of the few weapons with melee properties. What makes it low in the list is its callback feature. It stays in an area even if there's no enemy in that area. As I said in one of my other videos, melee is not necessary in this mode. This weapon has very low attack rate, dealing low frequency of damage over time. This is the world's revolving AoE weapon. Its orbs deals little damage and can be easily destroyed, consuming lots of energy to refill its orb. It can even destroy incoming enemy bullets. This weapon might be great, but surely not for this mode. As I said in my other videos, focus damage is the greatest offense in this mode, and that is the only thing that this weapon lacks. This weapon also lacks focus. It might have a consistent targeted attack, but the damage is low, because its main feature lies on the random collision of the orbs. This weapon has a very high energy consumption, but deals low damage. It specializes in slowing down enemies around you, and it is the only weapon with the elemental effect. Let's now go to the second tier of weapons, which is the pick this instead tier. This weapon can be ranked higher if it will bounce more, but sadly its max bounce for this mode is only 4. It has a decent wave clear, but it has mediocre damage. This is the middle between revolving AoE weapons. This is not as bad as Udenil, but not as good as the lens. I think this weapon is overrated. Yes, this weapon is good, but surely there's other weapons that is better. This one is unique. Unlike other revolving area of effect weapons, this weapon is hand-triggered. You can control when to fire, and its fire rate when it is equipped in your main hand. This is overrated too, but not gonna lie, it has a decent focus damage and decent wave clearing in max level. This one is underrated. This weapon punches hard. It deals high damage on large area, and it can bounce multiple times to deal multiple damage. Now let's go to the next tier, which is the this is good tier. This is simply destruction and chaos. It has high damage and high AoE. This weapon has high focus damage and pierces through enemies, giving it a high wave clear. It is the greatest revolving weapon. It deals continuous damage in a large area while consuming very little energy. It can even shred bosses. I think this weapon is not that popular, but if you try this weapon, you will see all of the enemies, boss or not, melt their HP right away. This is simply destructive. High damage, high AoE, high wave clear, and can easily melt bosses. And now, we arrive in the highest tier, which is the "This is all you need" tier, or the weapons that can most probably solo the whole mode. Compared to the other two premium starter weapons, you will have a rougher start with this weapon, but upon reaching its max potential, all the enemies around you will easily die. This has very high damage from start to finish. All enemies, boss or not, will have a hard time facing you from early to late game. Why I rank it higher than White Magnetic is its high and consistent damage per second. But their power is just on par, with very little margin. Yes, the top two are not pay-to-win weapons. These weapons simply destroy enemies efficiently. It releases multiple high-damage rays that will accurately destroy its target. And this is simply the GOAT of this mode. This weapon releases multiple high-powered projectiles that deals heavy focus damage when enemies are near, and spreads wide to seek enemies when they are far. It can also destroy upcoming bullets.